Welcome back to KangBrosTV, and this is just a recap for a championship winning season.
Bush. Oi, we've waited for that for a long time.
A long time. And I know that we've talked about it, and I know it was one of those that was inevitable after a certain point, which is credit to Liverpool. Lots of things along the way thinking that this season's going to get wrapped off, like, we're going to call it off, null and void, all them things there. But listen, to see this Liverpool team win the Premier League, and I think it is just one of those situations where there are fans out there that are like, oh my god, it's like, I hate the fact that Liverpool won it because their fans are going to be unbearable. Listen, that's just, people will, that you're obviously going to get segments of a lot of fan bases that will be like that. Fair enough, but I think sometimes there is a case, and now is the perfect time to sit back and be like, you know what, we've witnessed something special. Really, I'm not going to sit here and start comparing Liverpool to the best teams in the Premier League because I think that's nonsense. But at the same time, for what is in front of you, what's been put in front of you to win the Premier League by that bigger margin, for me, you've got to give credit where credit's due.
100%. I think we knew it was coming, and this is why this video's coming now, because we've had the time to digest it. We've had our celebrations, look back on the season. We knew it was coming, and it was fully deserved from this team. One thing I would say to everyone, like my brother just said here, that people celebrate in different ways. But what I want to say is be humble with it. Obviously, until the new season starts, do what you got to do. Get all the haters, people that talk smack, go and get them. But when the new season starts, I want to make sure that, these youngsters that saw Liverpool's success from a short space of time is not to be example, like some of these United fans. We've seen the struggle, we've seen the journey. Now, embrace it, enjoy it, but be humble with your success. That's what I would say to all the youngsters who've just seen Liverpool from a short space of time. And just get back on it. And obviously, football is football. You can always talk football with every other fan. It doesn't matter, and don't get too big-headed with it. Yes, we're the stage.
There's one thing looking at it about, be humble with it. Yeah. Absolutely, but the fact of the matter is the season starts at 0 points again. So, whatever's done last season, unfortunately, yeah, it's done. So you enjoy it and embrace it. But I think the proper teams will go and do it again, or be in contention to do it again, or be winning some silverware again. So I think that's the biggest thing for Liverpool will be to go and do that again. But I think the purpose of what we want to discuss today is the fact that, hey, this is the time to sit back and give yourselves a pat on the back and say, and appreciate what we've seen. Because I think, that's what I want to reiterate and just, talk about, is that what we have seen over the last couple of seasons with this Liverpool side, there's every chance that that team will get dismantled in some way. Someone might leave as a big cog. You don't know what's going to happen. So you've got to enjoy what we've seen. And I think that is the one thing I think, as a Liverpool fan, having seen some of the shit that we've gone through, just to be where we are now is something that I didn't think I would see.
You know what it is for me? It's when we finally won the league and it was official, it was just a sense of relief, joy, happiness, everything. The emotions were all there. And like I said, it goes back to, it's just a journey, the whole thing. When you talk to people, when you talk about the journey, people say, oh, what, the Gerrard slip? Nah, G. I'm talking the full 9 yards. I'm talking since Souness fucked everything, and then the whole journey from there. The Roy Evans, the Houliers,
the joint manager,
the joint manager hype. I'm talking them things there. You know what I mean? The 30 Dons that played for Liverpool, Voronin, Aquilani. All these players. Can you think of some of the Abel Javier? These Donnies there. We watched all of that. We signed Konchesky. We saw Anelka leave Anfield. Leave Anfield and then be certified and do mad shit at Chelsea. That's what
we saw. Peter Gulaxi. He's now doing bits for RB Leipzig. These people have all come through the door. That's what I'm saying. Appreciate what I'm saying here. These people have come through the door and they've left the door. They've gone out the door and won nothing. Nothing.
And then you got winners. You got Bishkan.
Hey.
Traore. These legends here. These certified dons. That's what I'm saying. The whole journey. And that's why when Liverpool got there, and people who've actually experienced that journey with us, they know what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
And the fact now, yeah, Liverpool fans are like, yeah, we need the best players out there. We need to be getting them sort of players there. Just remember, we were signing Joe Allen from Swansea, and he was supposed to be the answer.
Andy Carroll, 35 mil.
He was supposed to be the answer. Just remember, yeah, where we've been to where we at. Sartoris Kyriakis, yeah, centre back. He was supposed to be the answer. Yeah, Milan Jovanovic. These players here have come through the door and they were supposed to be an answer. So when we hit the situation, appreciate the journey, where we've come from to where we are now, and that's why I guess on the flip side to that, this is so important for Liverpool to get it right over this next season, or the next couple of months, to get it right, because the kit thing, we'll get onto that in a second, but the fact of the matter is they've put something big in place now with Nike. Yeah, that's a massive statement. To see LeBron James walking around with a Liverpool shirt on is just a mazza. Who would have thought that? He would never be wearing those Warrior sports kits. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where we've come to now. But the next few months are very important.
Yeah, so like as I said, like I think going back to the whole journey thing, where we are now, the transition's been mental, and everything we've done to get here is insane. And I think it all starts and stems from Klopp. Do you know what I mean? When he came here and he started making them statements like, in 4 years I don't see why we're going to do this. And I think everyone got on that hype. And I think that's the most important thing. Like, people were talking about how Klopp wasn't winning anything, he's losing all these finals, all this kind of stuff. It was only the Liverpool fans that could see something was changing. Do you know what I mean? Something was happening. You could just tell from the first day that I hear that he is going to do something.
It was that game against West Brom when they drew, and he made them, like, all go to the fans and hold hands and all that stuff there, and everyone was laughing, and everybody was laughing, and he actually said,
that under Klopp?
That was Klopp, and he even said that night, he goes, "This is the beginning of something beautiful," because that's when you got the fans on board. Talking, make sure I don't want you to leaving, because we will do bits in the last 10 minutes. Trust that, and all these things that he said, and that, and now all of a sudden everyone's like, yeah, all right, whatever. Yeah, he said it. Well done. Because he did. He said we'll do this, and they've done it. He said to the fans, when after the West Brom game, I remember watching it. We were watching it. We were like, what's this guy doing? Like, we just drew to West Brom.
I thought that was under Roy Hodgson still.
No, it's Klopp. He was the one that made them go and do it. And it's all them things there. You look at it and think, yeah, I don't know. He's a talker. Do you know what I mean? He's a waffler. And then he came in and then all of a sudden there was a buzz about the place, and they get to the Europa League final, and then they got tucked, and I was like, you know what? I can see something changing, so I'm going to be persistent, but I'm like, is it hot air? Like, I hope it's not hot air, because we've seen it all before. But I was willing to believe, because you can see something's changing. And the way he's now got everybody at that club, like, he can bring a youth team player up, and they know how that team plays. Do you know what I mean? It is massive credit to the manager, because we've seen some of the clowns that have had a go, and it ain't been fun.
But like I said, it can go. The Klopp ain't going to be here forever, and it can be gone just like that. So this is why I keep saying, be humble with it and enjoy it whilst it's here. Whilst Klopp is here, we keep, and like you said, there's the steps that we take now, the players that we sign. There's a lot of people been linked on that, and the way that Dismiskas, whatever his name is, like under the radar, they did that thing under the radar. I'm happy with that.
Kostas Tsatsiki
and all the signings that Klopp made. Some of these players. Now I remember when we were signing all these Southampton Donnies, yeah. They won everything.
Everything.
Like, they were talking about Lovren. People were cussing Lovren. So why are you going to leave to go to Liverpool? Mane. All these players. Lallana. They're all achieved and won something. You know what I'm saying? It's mad. Like, I remember that time when people saying, "Oh, Liverpool just banned these Southampton Dons," and look what they've achieved. So I'm saying that they took brave steps to lead to places where people were given all this kind of shit, and they succeeded. And this, once again, it's just a part of the journey. And Klopp signing, once he's come here, it's changed, just revolutionised everything. Like, all the players that he's made. And I saw these pictures of, like, some of these players playing back in the day against each other, like signs like Shaqiri, Robertson, all these there, and Firmino, all these players. It's because of Klopp. So I think no one's going to disagree that all Liverpool's success has really stemmed from this guy. I mean, FSG.
That's another thing.
How do you feel about FSG?
So the FSG thing, right? If you just listen to the interviews that they said we know the blueprint to make a team successful and all them sorts of things there, because they've done it. I think it was the Red Sox. I'm not too sure what the team was, but they said we will take a team that needs to be producing. We know how it's done from that side, from the business side of things. We need to get the right person on the other side. So they got the right person in, fair play, and then they delivered on the other side of it. And listen, I think it's a thing of beauty, really, because there's owners out there. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have a Saudi, them Arab owners, yeah, to be just dropping money on everything. I'd love that. Who wouldn't? Imagine Liverpool with Man City's budget. Ooh. But it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen because of the longevity and the tradition of the club, and they want to do it in the right way. So be it. But these guys to come in, from the guys that were before us, the Hicks and Gillette, whatever they were, to take over from them, from times when we Liverpool about to go to administration, all them things there, to take us to where we are now. You got to give them props. You just have to. All of a sudden there's a new training facility being built now. You know what I mean? Melwood was great because it was traditional, but they said, listen, it ain't up to scratch.
Klopp said that as well.
Yeah, he said this isn't going to scratch. So I think all the stuff that's been put in place, and like my brother said there's no guarantee. This could be gone, boom, within Barcelona could turn around and be like, we are breaking the bank. We're going to sell these players, freeing up money. We want Klopp. So there's possibly nothing. Bayern Munich might turn around where we want Klopp. Germany might. There's nothing you can do. If he goes, he goes. So that's why it's important the infrastructure is in place, so this continues. Because I don't know about you, but you know, it feels much better being on this end of it than it has been on for the last 30 years. So
100%. I think one pivotal change that happened, right, was Coutinho. That was a blessing in disguise. Everyone was upset about Coutinho leaving.
I was fuming.
But that P that came in and brought in Alisson and Verge, that literally just changed everything. So even that in itself was a blessing, and those players coming in really changed.
Even if you look a bit deeper than that, we sold Sacco for the best part of 15 million. 15 million. All of a sudden, this is one thing I realised, that Liverpool started to get return on players. Before, when Liverpool signed a player and he was a flop, they were like, get him out the door, just take him. We'll pay you to take him. We're taking losses on him. All of a sudden, we're selling players and we're making money. Solanke made profit. Do you know what I mean? Ibe, profit. And these sort of players, now, they got relegated. Those two players, for example, got relegated. Ibe got released. But we're making money on those. Allen, we made money on Allen. So I think everything that's been done has been brilliant. But I think the question I'd ask to you is now, we talk about the next steps. What is the next step? What comes next from your perspective for Liverpool from now?
It's a difficult one because the team is strong. And we were talking before about the depth of the squad. That's for me is the most important thing. But now we need 30 people coming in. So when you're talking when I'm meant to hear the names, Thiago Alcantara,
please don't.
Those names there
plays on my emotions.
That's what I'm saying. Those names there. If people come in like that, that's the kind of things that are going to excel you to the next level. That people say the next level. Liverpool have gone and achieved great things this season. And I'm not going to forget that. Literally, the Lord can take me now. I'm finished. I'm done. I've seen what I wanted to see. This was it. I needed to see the Premier League, and it's done. I've seen the Champions League. I'm happy. I've seen my team lift all the trophies that I wanted to see them lift. Right. So if the Lord wants to take me, He can take me. I'm happy. Done. But like you said, it's so important is that who we buy now. And I think that everyone agrees there's a few positions that we need cover on at least. The creativity thing in the middle is 100%. If he does come, there's talks that happen, you know he's going to control shit. And you definitely need that. And then everyone keeps talking about a striker and everyone keeps talking about a centre-back. I think those are the ones that I keep hearing.
Koulibaly, Thiago, Luis Suarez, done.
My man talks about Luis Suarez. But the thing is, we talk about this whole journey thing. If you look back on some of the players, the great players that we did have amongst all that time, the likes of Torres, the likes of Luis Garcia, Luis Suarez. We've always had Owen, Fowler, all these dons there. There's some serious players in there. Obviously, Steven Gerrard, Xabi Alonso,
Heskey.
You know what I mean?
Heskey.
Heskey. But you know what I mean? So, but do you agree that those three positions are the ones that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we need it. The left back thing was a bit of a worry for me. Cool. Lallana going, Lovren going. I think this is what I like to see because I think he knows that we have to get rid of some people in that squad. We've said this for a while. Origi's another one I think should probably move on. I think there's other people in that squad that I'm looking at thinking this could be your time. But and it's not a negative thing. It's more like, everything runs a cycle. I heard something the other day which I thought was actually it was such an important thing. Whatever club you're at, Liverpool won the Premier League. Teams in non-league, whatever, players will leave regardless. Doesn't matter what level you are. Runs out of contracts. Contracts run out. People will leave. Klein's gone. Lallana's gone. Lovren's gone. I'm sure the goalkeeper will go. What's his name? Joey. Karius. Karius. He'll go. Origi. Those sort of players will go. But then it's the next step now. Then you think, right? I know we laugh when I said Luis Suarez, but Barcelona are now at the end of a cycle. They're at the end of a cycle. They need a revamp. For Luis Suarez in his career, in the part of his career, he probably can't handle a game every day or every other day. I can't see why it's not. I don't think why it's not an absolutely out of the equation. Someone like that. I don't think so.
I just wants to see him back out.
Yeah, he's one of my favourite. For me, he's the best player I've seen in a Liverpool shirt. That's my opinion. But I think Thiago, if that guy comes, I'm buying every new shirt. And it's going to be 6 Thiago on the back, bro. Doesn't matter. Goalkeeper shirt, 6. Manager shirt, 6 Thiago. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Socks, 6 Thiago. Everything. everything.
But like, I think you're right, and it's all about the terms of strikers. Like you were saying about Luis Suarez, but let's push that aside.
If we can't have him, I'll take Mbappe or whatever. Like I'm not fussed at the minute.
The thing is, that is I think the next level.
Because how can you get somebody? How can you tell a player in his prime or who's tucking to say, listen, film player, really like you, yeah, come sit on the bench.
I don't see the levels dropping. I think Klopp is still going to get that maximum out of the players. But you did see it happen in the Bundesliga with Dortmund, where they went from winning and suddenly went. Pfft. So, like I said, that can happen.
Chelsea are moving mad, very mad. Man City are moving very mad. United are moving bookie, but looking to move mad because there's something in the pipeline there. You don't free up the number 7 shirt for fun. Arsenal have made their moves. Liverpool have to strike. I'd be very interested to hear what people think needs to happen and what will happen. And I would love to hear from people to think, okay, firstly, I would love to hear people's positivity around what Liverpool have achieved this year, because I think that's very important to appreciate what we've seen. Whether you're a fan of a different club, I think sometimes you just have to sit back and say, enjoy what we've seen. So
not even sometimes. This is what I'm saying.
This is one of those moments.
If you're a football fan, after the end of the season, you should look back and say that team deservedly won that.
Yeah, and I would love to hear. And that's what I'm saying. I want in the comments. Let's hear it. Let's talk about it. What is it that people think that stood out about them? What do they think that's a vulnerability? Let's talk about this season because that's what we wanted to do. We're appreciating what we've done and achieved. I'd love to hear from what other fans think about the points of the season where they thought we were going to do it or potentially not going to do it. And I'd love to hear from people to see how we can maintain what we've built at this moment and what needs to be done. But yeah, it's been an unbelievable season.
And congratulations to all the Liverpool fan base who enjoyed the journey with us all the way. I don't know if it's 50 years, how many years you waited for it. And obviously for following and supporting the channel for all this season and the last few years that we've been doing it. So sick, and we look forward to hearing from you. And we've got some new videos coming up soon as well on some different topics and about just generally the league and other clubs as well. So for other fans who want to
so that's one thing we're going to be doing for over the next couple of weeks whilst there's a bit of downtime. We'll be posting videos and giving our take on the performances and transfer movements of other teams. I think the first couple will obviously be the likes of City, Arsenal, United and Chelsea. So we'll be talking about those next video. And the other thing that we had a lot of questions and messages about is the infamous new kits.
So until then, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and definitely comment.